We are back, everybody.
Welcome.
Back like we never left. We're back with our royalty-free music.
Yep, and it hasn't been a lot of months since last time. Nope.
No. It's let me actually.
There we go.
That's enough with that. We're back, and I'd like to think better than ever.
I've been waiting for this all summer.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think it'd be best to start this off. This is the Quad Pod. I imagine a lot of you are probably going to be new here. Because it's a new school year, and we're going to be doing a new, marketing push. I don't know.
Yeah, we have a lot of new stuff planned with outside stuff and other ways we want to promote.
Yeah. So
super excited for it.
We did the Quad Pod last year, but again, like think of this as the fully formed version of it. So
a lot of what last year was just experimenting and seeing what worked, seeing what didn't.
Yeah. But we are here, and the Quad Pod, we talk about all of the most recent news, whether that be politically and arts and entertainment, locally and around Westchester. Anything that is of interest, we go through it in a way that is hopefully informative and hopefully entertaining. So that's what we do.
Yeah, all the big headlines, that's kind of we talk about them and give our opinion on it.
Yeah. So, no need to bore you with any more, introductions. I'm Carlo, by the way.
And I'm Sam.
That is important.
Yes.
But other than that, let's get right into it. So,
yeah,
a lot has happened over the summer, of course. We couldn't hope to cover everything.
Yeah, there'd be times over the summer where he would text me or I would text him and be like, bro, I wish we could be on the podcast and talk about this because it's just crazy.
Because if you haven't noticed, if you haven't gotten under from the rock you live under, there's a lot of things that are kind of on fire right now.
Yes.
Metaphorically and physically.
Yeah, I'm actually, when we were going over the list, I was kind of intrigued by the things that I expected new semester, we're going to talk about new things. And it's a lot of the stuff is just stuff we've been talking about since a few months ago and it's still happening or still in motion.
And we'll get to those things because those are all very interesting and in some cases funny to the extent that you're able to laugh at them.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it before. I think with a lot of these things, you kind of have to have some sort of sick sense of humor just to...
Yeah, just kind of not have a mental breakdown at the idea of it.
Exactly. So I guess the first thing, one of the most pressing things that we can talk about here that's been happening in the past week. So Donald Trump called in various states' National Guards to patrol Washington, D.C. He claimed that Washington, D.C. was experiencing a crisis of crime, which it wasn't. Every statistical indicator was indicating that homicide rates were down in Washington, D.C., and by all accounts from people living there, it is a perfectly safe American city, just like any other American city. Yeah. Now, the specific wrinkle to this that I want to talk about, because everybody knows that that's happened, but I think something that maybe not everybody knows about is there has been kind of a thing, and it's a funny term because the last time I remember discussing this term was back during AP American History. But does the term jury nullification mean anything to you, if I were to say that?
Not at all, honestly.
So jury nullification essentially is something that happens when somebody is put up for trial or charges or something like that, and the jury that is appointed to convict them or bring charges upon them, regardless of whether they believe or not that this person is guilty of it, they find them not guilty because they believe that it was a rightful act.
Oh,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of, So in D.C., there have been 3 instances. I'm getting this from the New York Times, by the way.
Okay.
In D.C., in the recent week or thereabouts, there have been 3 different instances in people being brought up on federal charges, basically for either protesting the presence of federal agents in Washington, D.C., or interacting with them in certain ways. I'll get into one that's kind of funny in a second here.
Yeah.
But 3 instances in which they have sought to bring federal charges against people in Washington, D.C. In all 3, the jury refused to bring charges against these people.
Really?
Yeah. So if that says anything about kind of the popularity of what Trump is doing currently, that says a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's been said before, you could get a jury to convict a ham sandwich, and so if the juries here are like absolutely not, we're not doing this, then that's a big deal.
Then you know something's wrong.
That is a big deal. Yeah. So specifically, and again, there's kind of a few funny things here. So the instance that this New York Times article specifically kind of discusses is there was a man who was detained by, let me see, some sort of federal agents. And apparently what he did was he threw a vial of PCP at them.
Oh my god!
Which, if I'm not mistaken, is meth. PCP is meth. Right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly meth, but it's got to be.
Okay, it's something.
It's on the same level. I have to imagine.
So
a bottle of PCP.
And the reason that, because it's like this man threw a bottle of meth at somebody, and the people of DC were so pissed off. They were like, "Yeah,
I would have done. They're like, I've done the same thing.
They're like, free him."
That's crazy.
So that happened. There's another instance where a man threw a sandwich at a National Guard member. Yeah, I think you guys have heard of that too.
I was just gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
I was seriously trying to find the video. By the way, hi, I'm Connor. I'm the editor.
Yes.
And multimedia head.
Yes.
We got him a mic. Finally got him his own mic.
I don't have to edit my voice to be like it's
high times
louder than it actually is.
But yeah, there is a video. I'm not quite sure how to find it at this current moment. I would encourage you to look it up if it interests you. But yeah, basically this guy just clocks some National Guard dude with a sandwich. And I mean, like, and obviously, like, the guy was fine as a sandwich. Yeah. But yeah, they wanted to bring charges against the guy for like felony level assault, and again, the jury just said no.
Like, okay, like that's kind of crazy, even if it wasn't like National Guard. Like, if someone threw a sandwich at me, my first thought would be like, yeah, I gotta bring this to court.
I mean, I guess you do feel bad for the individual a little bit because he's not in charge of where he is or whatever, but
I still feel bad, but it's like, oh, come on.
Symbolically, the gesture is pretty funny.
I guess it also depends what kind of sandwich it was.
What if it was like a Reuben, like a real messy one?
Someone threw like a meatball sub at me, I think I'd take him to court.
I mean, is there a good sandwich to get hit by? Maybe like a peanut butter and jelly. That's like not too messy, right?
I honestly think like, well, no, I think that like, because that's only like condiments in a sense, I guess if you could call that.
Depending on what you put on it, an Italian hoagie might not be too bad.
Yeah, I'm thinking just like a very basic like two pieces of white bread and like turkey and cheese, maybe some lettuce.
That's kind of a coward sandwich, though.
I know, and it is. But I'm saying that's probably the best sandwich to get hit by.
You know what? Also, too.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. This just occurred to me. So the guy threw a sandwich at somebody, right?
Yeah.
So a few things could have potentially happened here. Either he got that sandwich for the sole purpose of, I'm going to throw this in somebody's face, which is insanely petty and hilarious.
Yeah.
Arguably more hilarious, though, I would say, is that he got this sandwich. He was going to eat it. He purchased a sandwich because he was hungry for dinner or something. He was going to eat this sandwich. He sees this person and, the federal agents or whatever, and gets so uncontrollably angry that he decides his best course of action is to take this sandwich that he paid money for and just sling it at this dude.
Or made himself.
Made himself.
Yeah, I think he packed himself lunch that day.
And that arguably is funnier too. Like if he went through the process of making the sandwich at home.
Just to throw it at somebody.
Just to throw it at somebody.
You know what's funny though?
What's that?
Is just how quickly he takes off running. Yeah. Like, it makes sense, but you'd think like he would have gotten tackled or something, but he books it.
Dude, yeah,
he's prepared to run.
As soon as he threw, it was like, oh shit, sorry, I shouldn't have done that.
I think that's a good thing to start out on because it's crazy, right? Because the Trump administration is doing like a million things every day to such an extent that, and you can see it right here if you look, like when you go on the New York Times website, there is a tab that says Trump administration, and there are live updates.
Oh my god!
Like by the minute. That is how much they're doing each day.
It's like a war. Like I remember seeing that stuff when like there was wars going on.
Yeah, this is like Love Island for people who just who love the pain.
Yeah, so Love Island for people who hate themselves.
For me, I guess, yeah, because unfortunately, this is the kind of stuff I'm interested in. I'm a political science major, but
bro, you're like chatting like it is Love Island though.
Yeah. But I thought that was a good thing to start out with because again, they're doing a million things every day. In my opinion, not good stuff. But I think this is good because it's like they're doing very bad things like every day, like a million times a minute. Mm-hmm. But here's the good thing, right? And it's good to start off with a little hope this year.
Oh.
We don't have a lot. We don't have an insane amount of hope.
We normally like to end it off with a little hope.
We're going to start it with hope, and I'm going to find a way to finish it. That's my promise to you.
We'll certainly try.
The hope that we have is that, assuming that you're somebody that kind of aligns with me, or even not necessarily aligns with me, if you're somebody that is not a fan of what this administration is doing, the good news in all of this, they're doing terrible things every day, like I said. The good news is that these are literally like the dumbest people among us that are doing this right now. I am certain, like, if we come together, we can find a way to overcome the odds and, like, do something about these things. Because these people are not smart.
Yeah.
They're not smart. And I'm going to use that as a segue, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
Because I want to show you this video. And also, this is great new technology. We figured out how to play videos through the...
Oh, yeah. I should also say, and you're going to scoff at this, but it was said last time, it should be said now, that a lot of what we say and our specific opinions do not represent the Quad newspaper as a whole.
That is true.
And merely our own opinions on that.
That is true. And that's a good point. I probably should have said that in the first 5 seconds, but it's good. It's good that we're getting that like 10 minutes in. So
yeah. So, yeah, what we individually have to say does not represent everyone in the Quad and the organization itself.
Yes, we have a diverse set of writers with a diverse set of opinions. This is just us. So.
But going into what you wanted to show me.
Yes, I wanted to show you this video. So, as many of you may be aware, Robert F. Kennedy is going to find the cause of autism in September, which as of this recording, it is August 29th.
It's coming up.
So we are mere days away, people, from knowing what causes autism. I mean, this is groundbreaking.
We even talked about this a little bit before recording, that like when it started, when he originally announced this, it was not just the cause, it was the cure.
Yeah.
And so I like to have seen that like just thrown out the window.
They're like, oh wait, like. So yeah, we're gonna walk this back a little bit.
I can't wait for like the next like press conference. Someone says that and be like, I never said that.
Okay, so the stage is set. So that is what RFK promised. That at first there would be a cure. Now he's saying that they will know the cause of autism by September. Yes. This is just. I find this a deeply hilarious video. I'm gonna play it. This is from The Hill's Instagram account. So just take a listen, and I want to know your thoughts.
Autism, if I could, I don't want to go too long because we have a lot of people, but the autism is such a tremendous horror show, what's happening in our country and some other countries, but mostly our country. How are you doing on that?
We are doing very well. We will have announcements as promised in September. We're finding certain interventions now that are clearly, almost certainly causing autism. And we're going to be able to address those in September.
It's such a big day. I'm looking forward to that day because there's something wrong when you see the kind of numbers that you have today versus 20 years ago. And those numbers, what are those numbers?
In 1970,
he's going to say numbers, but he doesn't actually know them.
Epidemiological study in history was done in Wisconsin. They looked at 900,000 children, and they were looking for autism. They knew what it looked like, and they were very, very precise about it. And they found an incident rate of 0.7, in other words, less than 1 per every 10,000 children.
Less than 1%.
Today, our most recent numbers are 1 in every 31 kids. It's probably actually much worse than that because California, which has the best collection system, is reporting 1 out of every 19 children, American children, has autism, 1 in every 12.5 boys. So it's gone from less than 1 in 10,000 in 1970 1 in 12.5 boys.
Think of those numbers. So there has to be something artificially causing this.
There has to be.
Yeah.
A drug or something. And I know you're looking very strongly at different things. And I hope you can come out with that as soon as possible.
We will.
So 1 in 10,000, and now it's 1 in 31 or 34 or 12 if it's a boy. Can you imagine that?
No,
1 in 12. That's for a boy.
1 in every 12.5 boys.
It's not even believable that could be. And that was 1 in 10,000 not so long ago. I've been hearing these numbers, and they get worse and worse every year. There's got to be something. I think there's nothing, including favored nations and everything else, there's nothing that can be, if you can find out the reason that that's happening. And I know we're gonna do some things. I think we maybe know the reason, and I look forward to that press conference, to be with you in that press conference. That's going to be a great thing. Thank you, Bob. You're doing it.
Okay, so
there's a lot to unpack there.
Can I
go ahead? Yeah.
give you my first thought about that? So there is a lot there. There's a lot. First of all, just as a note, and this isn't my main point, but Robert F. Kennedy is so decrepit that even the AI-generated captions could not decipher what he was saying there.
Yes.
But okay.
It honestly just sounded like two kids in the playground trying to convince you that like something just happened.
Okay. That is almost exactly what I was going to say, because when I watched that, the first thing I thought was like, this is a 7th grade PowerPoint presentation that they did the morning of. That is what it is, because we know the answers. We just can't tell you quite yet. We know exactly what's going on. We know the numbers, but we're gonna get to it. Though.
I love like September's very like in September, like not a day. Like September's like September isn't next month.
Yes, and this is as of like a day ago. And again, today's August 29th.
Yeah, and also like, the most like unconfident way you can put something is I think maybe, and like that's like I do not trust whatever is after that. I think maybe we have the cause. That you don't.
I love that the very obvious thing is being overlooked here, where it's just like. Because he said like the study was done back, I forget the specific year he said, but it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And he said they knew what they were looking for. And that is the pertinent thing, because no, they didn't. Like this might be a shocker.
Mm-hmm.
We actually know more about like anatomy and like physiology and like general human consciousness in 2025 than we have at any point previous.
Yeah.
So like to reference like a years old study and say they knew exactly what they were looking for, that's wrong.
Yeah.
like no. And it's the same thing as like, and it's an analogy that's been used before, because back in like the Middle Ages, if you were left-handed, that was like the devil, right?
Yeah.
And so if you look at a graph of like people that are left-handed, you'll notice like it goes up. So clearly it must be a choice, right? People are choosing to be left-handed, right?
They act like it's like the plague. Like they like.
And I don't know where they got this idea. And this goes back to like, we talked about this last year too, but RFK had that kind of viral speech where he said people with autism will like never go on a date or like never like write a poem or something like that.
No, I'm saying that
crazy.
It is insane.
Yeah. Just a total disregard for like, I don't know. I mean, it's clear that he doesn't actually know an autistic person. Like
it is very
abundantly clear. Yeah, like I don't. And again, RFK, very, very important to note here. RFK, despite being the Health and Human Services Secretary, not a doctor.
Not a doctor.
Sam and I are as qualified to speak on these matters as RFK is. And that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
So using my equal qualifications as RFK Jr., I'm going to tell you or recommend to you that you disregard everything he just said, because that's horse shit. That's not true.
But I mean, like, have people looked into the stats he just said? Are those
I'm sure from like the specific study he's referencing, like there's probably are the numbers, but again, it's not a study worth referencing because it's how many years old.
Yeah.
I know about like the study. Wait, can I have the mic?
We're putting on Emily Rudd's staff writer and assistant multimedia.
Hi, autistic quad writer here. So like the study from 1970 is pretty inaccurate because the definition of the spectrum has like drastically changed since the 70s. Like back in the 70s, only boys could have autism, and autism was like a very narrow definition because the spectrum didn't exist yet. Back then it was known as like childhood onset schizophrenia. Now, like, it's the spectrum. So back then, girls didn't have autism. Autism meant only like non-speaking. And a lot of people, like especially like people of color, were not diagnosed at all. So yeah, like the study's accurate for it. No, it's not accurate. It's like it's of its time. And like today, the autism spectrum is much bigger. Like there are levels, and there are also a lot of other like co-occurring intellectual disabilities that we know occur with autism now, but we didn't know then. Back then, it was just mental retardation. Like that's what it was called. But yeah, the study is like horseshit, pretty much. Yeah. Like, and I feel like he went to like the school of QAnon or something.
Well, I mean, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah, he's like older than autism itself. Like as a diagnosis, like I'm pretty sure. So don't quote me on that, but I think he is. So he does not know what he's talking.
He does look like he could fall apart like a rusty bike at any given moment. That is one thing. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know like what like this approach was. It really does sound like when like Trump says like RFK, it's like your turn to talk. Like RFK did not see that coming.
No. And again, it's a 7th grade presentation that they did the morning before. Yeah. It's like I'm gonna turn it over to you, Robert. You have all the numbers.
It's not my slide. It's not my slide.
and then he just proceeds to fumble his way through, like saying things of no substance.
Yeah.
That mean nothing.
Jesus.
So, yeah.
Oh my God.
We love RFK on this show.
I also I'm just looking at this thing here. And I also like. I saw this headline. I thought it was funny that President Trump weighs in on Taylor Swift's Travis Kelce engagement. Out of everything right now, like those two headlines are right next to each other, right next to the RFK one. It's like these.
You know, it's funny. Like, I was going to like write that down on the topic list, but I was kind of like, who cares? Not as like a shot to like Taylor Swift or anything, but it's like everybody's talked about that.
I know, it's insane, and it's like. Everyone's talking about it's a big thing, but the fact that our president...
First, I would love to ask you a serious question, but I have to tell you the biggest pop culture news of the year broke while we were in this cabinet meeting. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged, and the world wants your reaction, sir.
Well, I wish him a lot of luck. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great guy, and I think that she's a terrific person. So I wish them a lot of luck.
Mr. President, first...
Okay, honestly, I can't even blame Trump for that. I thought it would totally be like a Truth Social post. Yeah. But as like a journalist,
that's the
you say I'm gonna ask a serious question, but
the people want to know, sir.
I guess they do need headlines. Like
that's definitely a reporter from like I don't know
BuzzFeed.
Like, either that or like Fox News or something. It's like everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
Like meanwhile, he's cutting billions from foreign aid.
Yeah. There might be bigger things at stake here.
Well, not for nothing. I couldn't hear what he said, but it does strike me as odd that. I mean, I could kind of hear that he said like something about like, I think she's a wonderful person. Or
yeah.
Whatever. But like, they've had public beef for
like. That's what I was thinking. He was saying. Yeah.
So what makes you be like, oh well, they're engaged and whatever, so it's all good. Like, I mean, like, ignoring the fact that like as a journalist, that's like an odd question.
It's
just like you know they have beef. Like, what did you think he was gonna say? I don't know.
Yeah, I was fully expecting him to like get angry about it.
This is a little bit conspiracy mode. I'll admit that, but it like the Trump administration in terms of approval rating, and we're gonna get to this too. Actually, this is a good segue.
We can get this next. Yeah,
they are kind of really not doing good. People are not a fan, and even if you take the aggregate of all the polls that are being taken, right? Because, and this is from New York Times once again. So New York Times has taken all of these different polls from different pollsters that are sponsored by different things. And when a poll is sponsored by a specific organization, that means that maybe they're, I mean, you know, everything has a little bit of bias, right? That's essentially what I'm trying to say. So they acquired all of these different pollsters. There are even some pollsters saying that Trump has a positive approval rating. But the aggregate of all of these is essentially saying that Donald Trump currently has an approval rate of only 44% and a disapproval rate of only 52%.
Wow.
And when you think about the average Trump supporter, right, you probably think about like, I was going to say no offense, but like at this point, I don't really care. Like, I think the average Trump supporter is a bit of a meathead, right?
Yeah, I think that's like what you'd imagine.
If you're a Trump supporter, that's like on board. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think like the very like stereotypical like.
So kind of a meathead. Probably likes, and I don't say this as an insult, probably likes football, because I like football. Who doesn't like football? Yeah. But probably does like football. Maybe is a fan of Travis Kelce. If Donald Trump comes out like firing shots against Travis Kelce, who's like one of the best football players in the league.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I think he can't have beef with Taylor Swift anymore.
Yeah, because he needs the white women.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm walking on eggshells, maybe.
Yeah.
That's insane. But ultimately, like, is kind of sound logic, like, because
I mean,
and here's the thing, it's like, I don't know, there's nothing as far as I know is like studying like Taylor Swift's fan demographics or anything like that, but I would have to imagine, especially with her start in country, there is a big population that are conservative or have gotten like are kind of like, I don't know, maybe put behind them the like other comments she's made or something like that. So It could be possible. Maybe in his view, like he needs to save face. Like
yeah, and then
wow,
that's exactly what I'm saying. And again, that's totally conspiracy, man. That's like tinfoil hat shit. But like I just
I see where you're coming from though. It's totally possible. They were like, look, someone might bring it up.
Yeah.
Please.
You know what? That's probably what happened.
Please don't. Yeah.
You are probably totally right about that. He had somebody come in. It's like, sir, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift just got engaged. Just like whatever you do, like do not call her woke or like don't call her a loser. Like you just play it cool. Play it cool.
He's like, calm down, Donald. It's okay.
Because he has had like rants on like Truth Social.
You can do this.
I would love to imagine that Trump's like a Smeagol Gollum, like. Like Truth Social is like my precious, like I can't.
Dude, it's like we're talking about an 80-year-old man who is genuinely addicted to social media.
Yeah.
It's so pathetic. It's so. Oh my.
Fox News is precious.
Really, really. But yeah, that's a good segue because I wanted to get into the approval rating.
No, yeah, it is crazy. Honestly, is that with? Oh no,
Yeah.
it's August. Oh, August 1. Okay.
So this is as current as it would get.
Yeah,
and again, the aggregate of all these polls is saying that Donald Trump, the majority of Americans are disapproving of what he is doing, and I know that with 52% specifically disapproving, only 44% approving, and I know especially that when you take it down to the specific issues. Now, New York Times doesn't have this data, but when you track it down to the specific issues, such as issues that Trump ran and won on, like the economy, like tariffs, like even immigration, right? So like economy and tariffs and things like that, people are overwhelmingly not approving of what he's doing, which is funny because like that's why he won basically.
Yeah, he did exactly what he said he was gonna do, and then people are like, wait, what?
That's exactly the point. That's exactly what I was gonna say. He told you what he was gonna do, and for some reason in all of these people's minds, that's what was going to fix it. And again, it's not like he lied to them. He did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, it didn't help anything. It made things worse. And now they're like, oh, darn it. That was a mistake.
Oh, I thought he was joking.
And again, guys, let's just do a little bit of research. But we've made this bet and now we're laying in it. So. But even like immigration, right? And you might expect like Trump's hardcore base to like really be behind that. And the hardcore base they are. But even things like immigration, like, people are realizing that it's frustrating to say because like if you actually looked into this, you knew this from the beginning. He was never talking about only like the criminals.
Yeah, yeah.
It was never ever going to be only the violent criminals. Like just no shot. And
good.
Oh no, sorry, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna change topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go with this because this wasn't one of the things we were gonna talk about, but I feel like it'd be important to talk about if you know anything about it. Is the South Park.
Yeah.
Stuff. Have you been keeping? I haven't watched the exact episodes, but
I've seen the first two.
Just like reading it, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. They're really
especially with the stuff with what's her name?
Kristi Noem.
Kristi Noem. That was bad.
So Kristi Noem is funny. As you know, we've talked about Kristi Noem on the show before.
Yeah.
Noted dog murderer.
Yeah.
And the show leans into that.
Yeah. I like the headline I saw was Kristi Noem shoots Crypto the dog in the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. So this is a whole can of worms. This is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Kristi Noem. My God. This is real life. Okay. Kristi Noem, Secretary of Homeland Security, who likes to cosplay as a soldier, because she is not one. Received extensive plastic surgery, which, nothing wrong with that if that's your cup of tea, but,
Oh, okay. I was wondering why in the clips I saw, like, they made, in the South Park episode, they made, like, her face is, like, literally, like falling off her face. Yeah.
When the episode first dropped, and it's the second one of South Park's most recent season. Like Kristi Noem is like the main person they're actually making fun of in that episode. And I want to say immediately after it dropped, she said that it was like paraphrasing, right? Yep. But she said it was demeaning. She said it was like a low blow. She's like, I think she said like only radical leftists would make fun of a woman's appearance. Mere days later, I think less than days later, her profile picture on social media she changed to her portrayal in South Park.
Are you serious?
So I guess she likes it now. I guess she likes it now.
Well, because you notice a switch with the next episode when they made fun of J.D. Vance and Charlie Kirk, where instead of being like, this is wrong, this is bad, they were like, haha, funny.
And that is that this is such a, oh my God, we could have a 5-hour podcast on this subject alone. Yeah. But the misinterpretation of art is, and the media literacy, because no way Charlie Kirk watched that and was like, dude, they love me.
Yeah, they think if they're just like, haha, funny.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, they're pushing it aside. Like, we don't really care what you have to say because it's just funny to us. Yeah. And it's like, bro.
Yeah, because he tweeted something like, because in the episode it's like Cartman is basically Charlie Kirk. Yeah. And then Charlie Kirk tweeted like, "Go Cartman, this is awesome." And it's like, first of all, if you know anything about, like, literally, I have seen maybe 5 episodes of South Park in my entire life. I know enough to know that Cartman is like not the villain of South Park, but he's like kind of the antagonistic.
Like, look
character.
up the list of crimes Cartman has committed, and then see that tweet from Charlie Kirk being like, "Go Cartman."
Yeah, and
I know JD Vance even said something. Like, if you haven't seen what JD Vance looks like in that episode,
it's hilarious.
It's really funny.
Bottom line is, I think the current presidential administration of the most influential country on the planet got absolutely twisted over a South Park episode. They were livid about it.
Yeah, they were really mad.
They were. And it's just it's unbelievable because there has to be, like you said, there has to be, and there is, more important things to worry about than like how South Park portrays you.
Yeah, and I know this is a little bit of old news, but the fact that all that happened right after the whole deal with Paramount, and the ending of Stephen Colbert's show, or not the ending, but the cancellation, which is insane. I remember like hearing about that. That was like a whole. Like, that was kind of crazy.
It's really funny to me because I really respect it because the creators of South Park got like a $1 billion deal.
Yeah, it was $1.5 billion.
Like, very shortly before that episode aired.
And the crazy thing about that, too, is that, what was it? I think it's for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
So they're in a like binding contract for like $1 billion in multiple years, and Paramount probably had no idea that they were going to come out like that.
No, I can't imagine.
I have a lot of respect for that. That's really great.
Yeah, and I love that all the other late night hosts, like, there was never a war between. That's one thing I actually loved about late night hosts is there's never like a war between them. I feel like even though they're all looking for approval ratings and viewers, they're all like very friendly with each other, and I love how they all came and like supported Colbert in that moment.
Yeah,
and I like that he has the highest approval ratings he's ever had, which is kind of funny.
Have you seen how Jon Stewart kind of showed up for him?
No, I don't think I did.
Well, because I guess. I think Stephen Colbert kind of got his start, or kind of got into late night by working on The Daily Show.
That's right.
With Jon Stewart, and so they are like very close apparently. And apparently, like, upon hearing the news, like, Jon Stewart just went off on like live air. There was some kind of a bit to it. It was obviously like funny. He wasn't just ranting, but he definitely kind of like stood up for him, and I haven't seen like too many other people like like explicitly. I know like I think I saw someone on maybe MSNBC, but that's not quite the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so disappointed that it's ending.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of strange because it's like, did I ever watch Colbert? No, but it was nice knowing it was around.
I agree. It's like
it's just I think it's a very specific viewership.
Well, and the Late Show has been on since like the 60s or something. Like, it's
with
yes, like
Letterman.
Like the Tonight Show's like is too, and Daily Show's been around too, but there's something about it also being the legacy of like David Letterman and stuff, who was similarly like poignant, good interviewer, like, you know, kind of very like, you know, critical, like, you know,
because
whatever. Like, it sucks to see a legacy of that type of person in entertainment kind of being kind of swept under.
And like, if it happened in a way where it was like, if it wasn't in the moment it happened, you know, because of the reason Colbert's got canceled.
Well, they insist that it was
they do insist, but even Colbert's like, doesn't make any
sense.
sense.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Well, and also Trump, right? Like, Trump posted on Truth Social like not too long after, and just like flamed him. I think he was like, and Jimmy Kimmel's next. It's like, bro, are you serious? How petty is that?
It is like, I think Connor brings up a great point, because I feel like that kind of journalism, like, it's unfortunate, but it is kind of on its way out, because obviously you're always going to have interviews, but I think increasingly the landscape is those interviews are happening on And it's funny to say it from this platform, but they're happening on podcasts.
Yeah, podcasts have just blown up.
And it's like, that's fine, but it's like, I don't like want, like, Colbert is a great interviewer. Like, he is a journalist. Like, he knows how to do things the right way. And it's like, you're always going to have interviews, but it's like, and again, like, no disrespect, like, I don't want to hear, like, I don't know, like, Pete Buttigieg on, like, the Theo Von podcast. Like, that's not, like, giving you as much. Like, that's...
Yeah, and, well, you've noticed that with Conan. Conan stopped doing late night, and now he has a podcast, and it's huge. I actually like that. That is good.
Yeah.
I've listened to some episodes, and
really
it's pretty good.
Because of that Colbert got, like, you know, you wish that he had the platform that he did with the Late Show, but I think with someone with his background and his skill, like, he should do a Conan thing. He should, like,
100%.
kind of continue to do it, and I'm sure, you know, if he has to do it himself or somebody's gonna back him because they know the kind of support that he has, especially now. Like, he did before, but more so now. Like, people are gonna be willing to be like, oh well, you got screwed over. Like, you know, let's put some money behind you. Yeah,
and I think like since it's so recent, Colbert numbers are gonna be high for a while. I think near like maybe December, it's gonna lower down again. But then right when it's about to cancel, it's probably gonna reach the highest it's ever been. And you know, he'll land on his own 2 feet. Like,
he will. I was about to say that same thing.
Whether it be a podcast or a new show somewhere else, someone's gonna take him because they know it's gonna be huge wherever they go.
I would hope that maybe what we see here is because when you look at this at large, it's not just Colbert. He has a stronghold over the FCC in general.
Yeah.
So like networks can't really say what they want without like the threat of like the terminology is a lot of bureaucratic red tape, but basically like the FCC controls the airwaves, and if networks are saying things that Trump doesn't like, he might be able to be like, oh, maybe we're not going to renew your license to broadcast if you say things I don't like. And that's kind of a thing that he can hang over their heads. So when you're talking about like really, I mean, it is censorship. I mean, it's maybe it's not like directly censorship, but that's what it still is. Mm-hmm. I would hope that maybe because like you said, his ratings are higher than ever now.
Yeah,
I would hope that it's an instance in which if they're so insistent on pushing so hard in that direction, which they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know, gravity, right? It comes back.
Yeah,
I would hope so.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
No, I can only really hope for the best from now. I mean, he still has months and months. I think it's March or May is when the show's actually getting canceled.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, but that'll be definitely interesting to follow and hear updates on, and we'll definitely talk about it in the podcast, no doubt.
Stephen Colbert will be fine to land on his feet, but I think the real interesting thing to me, like I said, is the trends that we might see large with everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't really have a great segue for this one.
But we kind of went a little off topic there, but let's get back into another.
Yeah, this is another big thing. Another one that unfortunately, as a political science major, God, if I try to explain this in a way that makes sense, it's just not going to happen. I mean, I think most people know what gerrymandering is, though.
Yeah, if not, it's not. It's a one Google search, and you can really figure it out.
So okay, I'm not going to give you an explanation because I would butcher it. You probably know what gerrymandering is. If you don't, just Google it. They'll give you a better explanation than I could.
Yeah.
Anyways, the topic is Texas. They finalized their plan to redraw their district maps, which essentially will give Republicans 5 extra seats in the House of Representatives.
Oh my God.
And I'm trying to find words that like accurately explain why this is so crazy, but I feel like it's kind of apparent. So maps are only redrawn every 10 years during the census. This is unprecedented to do it in the middle of the decade at the behest of the president. It wasn't like, oh, we've had major population shifts and like we're going to redraw our maps. It's like, no, the president was like, hey, I want 5 extra seats. Redraw the maps.
Yeah, and even the headline calls it the gerrymandered map. Like, it's not like...
Yeah. I mean, that's... Because that's literally what it is.
Yeah,
that's literally what
it's exactly what it is. And didn't like the Democratic people who like they left, didn't they like leave during the vote?
So that was a thing too. That was about a week ago at this point. They went to the state of Illinois. Some of them went to Illinois, some of them went to other states. Yeah, they basically fled the state because of a rule in Texas's. I don't know if it was the Senate or the House of Representatives. It was one of the two.
Yeah.
But they would have needed a quorum in the chamber to come to a vote. So the Democrats protested and left.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like it's a nice symbolic gesture, but like they had to go back at some point.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And eventually, like this was going to happen, just because the Republicans had the majority, and like they came back because what were they going to do? Stay in Illinois for 4 years? They came back. The measure passed. Governor Greg Abbott signed it into law. So this is what it is now, and it's awful because they're stealing basically. They're stealing votes. They're stealing the democratic process. Here's what I'll say though.
Yeah.
If you're listening and this doesn't quite get you that upset, if you don't really see what the problem is with it, I think an analogy could be helpful. So Sam, you're a Chicago Bears fan.
Yes.
I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Let's imagine a hypothetical in which the Eagles and the Bears are like playing, right? Just like playing a game against each other.
Yes.
So let's say, so it's halftime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the Eagles are winning. It's 21-14.
Yeah.
So Eagles are winning, but it's a close game.
Yeah.
Eagles come out of the locker room and they say, all right. New rules for the second half. Our touchdowns, they're going to be 12 points instead of 6. Your touchdowns are only going to count for 2 points.
Yeah.
Also, we get 5 downs. You only get 3 downs. And you can't pass the ball. You have to run.
Sounds completely fair.
It sounds completely fair, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're changing the rules at halftime.
Isn't gerrymandering like? How is this not like? They're not legal action being like. You can't just do this, can you?
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's the upsetting thing. You can. I mean.
Really?
Now I'm not super familiar with Texas law. I'm not really familiar with the law the specific law on this in general.
Yeah.
But and not to say that it doesn't matter, but it's like it kind of doesn't matter because like it's happening.
Yeah.
Like they didn't care the legality of it. They're doing it. You know? So yeah, like and another thing, if you want to add a silver lining to it.
Okay.
A political party doesn't do this unless they are genuinely scared.
You're right. Yeah.
That they are going to lose seats next time, which, and 5 seats that's no small number. We're going to get to something else in a second here. You probably heard of it. But 5 seats is no small number, and that is, yeah. But the people are dissatisfied right now under the Trump administration, so who knows? But another thing that is happening, another wrinkle in all of this, I'm sure you're familiar, or maybe at least you've seen just at some point or another, what Gavin Newsom is doing in California currently.
I don't think I have.
Really?
No, yeah.
Okay. So Gavin Newsom is the governor of California. Being the governor of California, he's a Democrat, of course.
Yes.
So he has kind of made it his personal mission to like be the biggest thorn ever in the Trump administration's ass.
Yeah, he really has been.
And it's really funny. It's really, really funny. And Gavin Newsom is not like my favorite politician or anything, but it's like, I'm a fan of what he's doing. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
So, if you don't know anything about it, so, I mean, I was going to explain it anyways, but, so what they are doing is they're going to have a vote. I'm a political science major. I should remember the term, but they're basically going to directly vote on this matter in a couple months, I think, where basically they would redraw their maps to offset what Texas is doing.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. And if California did that, I don't know the exact number, but if California did that, it would be at least gaining 5 Democratic seats, if not more.
Yeah, I was gonna say so
it's kind of they were playing a game of chicken with this for a while, but Texas did it, so California's gonna have that vote.
It honestly worries me because it's like, when does it stop?
I understand that, but at the same time, like you can't just roll over and let them do this.
I know, yeah. I know something has to be done, but it's like.
Carlo, I kind of am interested to hear kind of your like take on that a little bit of like, because I feel like there's a lot of talk of that for a long time dealing with the Trump administration. A lot of like kind of like old hat Democrats have been like, oh well, we have to stick to like the like really like stick by the book and really do things like how they're supposed to be done. And it's like everything else is being done at this kind of like on a whim type of thing from MAGA. And it's like, I mean, you kind of said a little bit of it there, but like, what do you think about, because there's also sort of an idea going around of like, okay, if California does this and kind of plays devil's advocate and kind of like
Mm-hmm.
doubles down, then like other blue states or like every state is going to try and do it. So it's like, is that a good way of thinking? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know.
So,
I don't really know where to stand. I mean, we kind of need all we can get, but it's like,
That's what I was saying. Like, where does it end? Like, you know, like what is it gonna go till every single state's done it, or?
So here's what I would say on it. Okay, and there's two really different sides to it, of course. Is this a situation that I'm glad we're in? Of course not. It's really shitty, and President Trump is like genuinely kind of like teetering on like traitorous for like even like saying this is a thing that they should do. Because he's stealing votes. I mean, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, even if you're a fan of his or whatever, like, redrawing maps only because you know they will give you, like, more representation in Congress, like, that is theft. That is not democracy.
Yeah.
Okay, and to get to your question, because it's a really good question. It's kind of the pertinent question in all of this. The old hat Democrats, like Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, I don't doubt that they are all well-intentioned for the most part, but they're not meeting the moment, and that is a problem. So, like, when you have people who are coming up, and, like, we have to remember right now, like the Democrats are not the ones in power. Like, it is the Republicans. They are in power. They're calling the shots right now. And I guess the analogy that I would use is, like, to use another sports metaphor, if you're about to go into the boxing ring and you know your opponent is going in there with brass knuckles, right? Like, you know, like, that's against the rules. They can't do that. But like, are you really going to go into that ring like without a set of brass knuckles yourself? Are you going to go in there and get killed for honor? You can't do that. Because if there is no response in the same way that Gavin Newsom is proposing, we're rolling over it and we're saying, you know what? Yeah, you can steal democracy.
Yeah, just do what you want. You know,
do what you want. Democracy's over. You guys got it. That's not the message you can send. And again, I appreciate the idea of not wanting to stoop to the level of your adversary. I do appreciate that idea. But again, the recognition has to come that the Republicans are the ones in power right now. That is just the way that it is. Like, if the Democrats were the ones in power, maybe, they could be like, you know what, we're going to go back to the old ways. We're going to do things with courtesy and politeness. That's not the game right now.
No.
Those are not the rules of the game. Like, they remade the rules, and if we don't play by the new rules, we're just going to keep losing.
Yeah.
And so again, like, do I appreciate the fact that this is a situation that we're in? No. I do not like the fact that this is something that California has to do, but that doesn't change the fact that I think it is something that California does have to do.
Yeah.
Like, that is my opinion. I think Gavin Newsom is on point with this. You cannot let them just do this. You can't.
Yeah. And the same idea of just like, as like starting off now, but if the meeting's not a few months, it's going to be building. And this idea of like, we're going to get them back with this is going to be building. And so like, I guess we'll just have to see the response,
Yeah. And this is kind of another thing. And I understand I'm kind of soapboxing here. I apologize.
Good.
People love to complain about Gavin Newsom, and I understand he's not the perfect politician. I said before, I'm not like, Gavin Newsom is not, even just in terms of like personality and the way he projects himself, not my ideal politician, right?
Yeah.
I certainly, even I'm not the kind of person that's like, oh, I see somebody's elitist. I can see why people might see Gavin Newsom and think he's kind of like a slimy guy.
Yeah.
He just kind of has that vibe. I get it. But for Democrats and particularly people on the left, and I would consider myself somebody that is on the left, just me. We cannot continue to be so picky in terms of like how we fight our fights and the fights that we do choose. We cannot be picky, like, because again, we're not in a position where we're choosing the fights. The fights are being chosen for us, and if we choose not to fight them, we're just gonna lose.
Yeah,
like that, and that's what it is. The fights have to be fought. Gavin Newsom is not perfect, but he's rising to the moment. He's meeting the moment, and right now, like, that's what it is.
You need that.
Either you are meeting the moment or you are not, and that's kind of the bottom line of it for me. So Gavin Newsom might not like be match aligned perfectly with my views, but like, he's fighting the fight, and that is so much more than can be said about many, many other Democrats. So that's where I stand on it.
And hopefully it can at least inspire other Democrats like that.
You would hope so. And another thing too that's kind of forthcoming. And we don't know the result of it yet, but of course Zohran Mamdani in New York City.
That's right.
And this is a thing. We actually didn't talk about this at all in the spring. I don't think, because this was all over the summer.
I didn't know nothing about Mamdani until then.
So, and Zohran Mamdani, incredibly popular in New York City, and I totally understand the factor of it's New York. New York's very liberal anyways, so maybe they're more inclined to like a guy that's farther on the spectrum than other places. But you can't argue the popularity.
Oh my God, yeah.
And like he's speaking to the issues that are the actual issues.
Yeah.
Like you don't see Zohran Mamdani getting on Twitter talking about how Sesame Street is woke.
Yeah.
Whenever you see him talking, he's talking about, hey, housing is too expensive. And like we don't have enough jobs, and like healthcare is shitty, and the president is stealing democracy. He's talking about important things. He's not talking about how he's butthurt that South Park made him have sex with the devil. Like it's not like we need like, and that's my point. We need to start caring about things that matter. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, like
no, I get it, and it's like, especially with all the stuff he's talking about too. Like even I'm hearing about it from PA. I'm hearing about what this guy has to say and agreeing with it. And, everyone's saying like, oh, he's just saying this stuff. He's not actually going to do it, or that doesn't make sense. And it's like, that's exactly what we were saying about Trump.
Yeah. Like, the way I see it right now, and again, is it the situation that I would prefer to be in? Absolutely not. Like, we don't need politicians right now. We need fighters. Mm-hmm. Like, and you can't be picky about that. Like, at least in my mind, you can't be, because like I said, and it's the last time I'll say it because I'm going to be a broken record. If you refuse to fight the fight, you're just going to lose. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Yeah, at least we got to. I mean, yeah, we're fighting all we can right now, but I'd love to see.
Yeah.
How much it grows and what spawns from not only New York, Mamdani, and Newsom as well.
Yeah. And to answer kind of your question and address your concern about where does it end, where does it go from here? Look, I mean, it's possible that we kind of get like a nasty, what's the term? Domino effect here, right?
Yeah,
that is very possible. But again, it's preferable to just losing. But even if you have the domino effect, and every state goes crazy with it, which is like, I think even that's a bit exaggerated, because like think about Pennsylvania, right? Pennsylvania's a purple state. Mm. Democratic governor Josh Shapiro, Republican-controlled Senate and House of Representatives, and even right now with SEPTA and everything, that is proving its own issues.
Yeah, wow.
So if they can't agree on SEPTA, and obviously Pennsylvania is not the only purple state.
Yeah.
There are a lot of purple states out there. If they can't agree on like SEPTA funding, they're not going to agree on redrawing maps either way.
Yeah.
So that's another thing to consider. Certainly, I see a future where other states do it, but as kind of maybe to put your ease a little bit in that way. Also, just at a certain point, right? This whole MAGA movement, like it has to end. It's going to end, and there's a certain way, and I don't want to directly say it, but there's a certain way that it probably will end.
Yeah.
I mean, Donald Trump, we've talked about this before, 80-year-old man, not in good health, especially recently, many discussions about his health.
Yeah, I've been hearing some stuff about that.
Like potentially certain treatments he's been getting. At some point, I don't know when, like whether it's during his presidency or after his presidency, like Donald Trump is going to pass away. And as is the case with, cults, and not to go like super into like, but I think it's fair to say that his super hardcore, like his core supporters, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's fair to say that it is a bit cultish.
It is. No doubt.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's like cult of personality.
Cult of personality
is kind of the phrase that I think gets thrown around a lot.
Thank you for that. That's much better. It's a cult of personality. I think that's absolutely fair to say. Mm-hmm. So the MAGA movement is going to end at some point. I think most likely with that. And I think people are going to shake themselves out of their stupor, hopefully at least.
Yeah.
Because I don't, and again, it's really hard to say. Before Trump came along, a lot of these people didn't really care about voting.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like people shouldn't vote, but like if these people just go back to not really caring and they go back to like non-voters, then maybe we can go back to having like a normal government
Yeah,
where,
a lot changed in 2016. A lot changed, and so I'm excited to see what happens at the end of this in 2028.
Yeah,
when he can't run again, or I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but and see what happens and where the landscape is at that point. If these people are going to vote, who are they voting for?
Yeah.
Because no one's gonna have a run like Trump did. It's so crazy.
It's not gonna happen. It's a really interesting, like, interesting is like doing a lot of heavy work because it's awful and depressing. But I'll say interesting.
No, I agree.
It's an interesting situation because the Republican Party is eating itself alive, and the mainstream Democratic Party, like I said, like when you think about like Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, et cetera, they seem to be totally fine with becoming irrelevant. So it's almost like both parties are just trending towards, I don't know.
Well, and an interesting wrinkle I think too to consider is whether or not some more MAGA inclined like Republicans recognize that their reelectability is potentially threatened by their like allegiance, and I would never be in this position like to begin with because, would never be with MAGA, but like to be one of those politicians and have to thread the needle between like trying to be reelectable and also like trying to not get like stomped out is, I could imagine, pretty tricky. But I'm hoping that sort of force pulls them back to back to center. But it's and even though that's kind of, it's sort of more of an ideal, like I recently saw a video of like a politician talking, and I think it was Tennessee. I could be wrong, but he was kind of spouting like MAGA talking points, and he was getting mercilessly booed. Like, I'll try and like show it here or something like that, a clip from it.
You do not get free health care. You do not get free health care.
But seriously, like, it shows that like there is obviously a lot of support, obviously internally, just from their power, or from real MAGA loyalists. But there's also this like these everyday people who are in these areas that we think are, never gonna change, like always like red whatever, that are thinking differently now. So
no, I understand what you mean.
I think that's I would think that's absolutely correct, just because when you have these current Republican ideas, these current ideas that are mainstream in the Republican Party because of Trump, if you take these ideas and drain them of their linkage to like the Trump kind of zeitgeist and brand, when you remove the Trump aspect from these ideas, you just have ideas that hold no water. Yeah. They have no level of like hypnosis to them for like anybody they'd be trying to target. I mean, at least I would think so, because think about like these MAGA politicians, right? Like you got like Ted Cruz, Ron DeSantis, J.D. Vance, right? Just to name a few. All of these guys truly only successful as successful as they are because of Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And the main thing there too is like all three of those people, and you can name any amount of people on the right that are only successful because of Donald Trump, just incredibly unlikable. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
And not that Trump is likable, of course, but Trump does have that thing where like you can watch, like we watched the video from earlier talking about autism, and it's like it's kind of easy to watch Donald Trump and just kind of like be like, oh yeah, he's harmless, he's kind of funny, like he talks funny, like. And
you can even like go back to him being an entertainer, him spending so much time in the entertainment business and not acting in a sense. I mean, he had his own show, but he knows what it takes to put on a performance like that and seem a certain way different than what he actually is. And I feel like that's what we're seeing right now and what we've been seeing since 2016.
Exactly correct. And that's why there's just not going to be another Donald Trump, not even close. Because I know it's been discussed ad nauseum, but who carries on that banner? Because it's not J.D. Vance.
No.
They hate J.D. Vance. It's not Ron DeSantis.
Ron DeSantis is too hated.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Meatball Ron.
I think Ron DeSantis is hated by other Republicans, right?
Yeah.
As
is Ted Cruz.
Yeah, exactly. Even like their own party doesn't like them as much. And no one will be Trump. So you know what? I guess enjoy it while it lasts.
There's a really good. This is great. So just to kind of display to you how truly unliked and widely hated these Republican politicians are, and this is actually back in 2016, 2017. Yeah, this article's from 2016.
Wow.
So, Lindsey Graham said about Ted Cruz, quote, "If you killed Ted Cruz on the floor of the Senate and the trial was in the Senate, nobody would convict you." 8 years ago.
That's
9 years
insane.
ago. Yeah. So they don't even like each other.
Yeah, I mean, who knows,
like,
man?
the super glue that is holding all this together is Donald Trump, and I can't help but think it's going to fall apart.
I think once 2028 happens, 2028 election, everything might. We'll see what happens, but it's quite possible everything just falls apart, and from the Republican side, and who knows? Maybe they'll find their Trump Jr.
I would add though, and this loops back, and we'll conclude with this.
Yep.
That only happens if the Democrats are actually if they decide that they want to fight.
Yep.
That only
and we're so glad that we're seeing it now.
Yes.
Yeah, and so let's just hope it continues and that it grows from here. But
yeah. But I guess that's kind of hopeful, right?
Yeah, I was thinking
to end it off,
to think that things aren't perfect now, but there are fights being fought.
Yeah, I don't even think it's overly optimistic to say that. And look, the damages that are being done now, they're going to take a long time to fix.
Yeah.
Long time. And things are bad now. They're really, really bad. But like we said, I can't help but think that there's going to be a breaking point or a point of disillusionment, if you will.
Yeah.
A point of no return for this movement, this kind of political ideology. And it has to end. Things like this can't keep going.
Mm-hmm. I
don't know. And especially in America, it's not like there's a wide consensus that this man is well liked.
No, yeah.
He's not. So bear all that in mind. Things are terrible right now, but hey, these people, like I said in the beginning, these people are not very smart. They're the dumbest people among us. I am sure that as long as we commit ourselves to the fight, like I said, we can figure out against all odds a way to do this.
No, there's a way.
I really am convinced of it. And it sucks, but Donald Trump is such a one in a million figure. There's never going to be somebody else like him.
Mm-hmm.
Look, is it being too hopeful? Maybe it is, but what else do we have?
Yeah, might as well stay hopeful and keep spreading the information.
Yeah, and vote Gavin Newsom 2028.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about next week a little bit for the kind of?
Yes.
Real quickly, yes. Next week, you may, just may, be seeing us outside.
Yes.
Just like how we ended our last season, I guess if you want to call it season. We wanted to start off with one. We wanted to kind of promote it here and just say next week in the quad we will be outside.
Yes. So I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
So, two different things, or a few different things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's today? Today's Friday. Okay.
Yep.
So, if you're seeing this at any point before Tuesday, September 1st,
yes.
Is that what it is? I'm just gonna double check here. No, September 1st is okay.
December 2nd.
Sorry. Scratch that. If you are seeing this at any point before Tuesday, December 2nd, and you are interested in coming to a quad meeting, we are having a quad meeting on that day, September 2nd.
Yep.
At 4:30. So hey, if you like writing, if you have any interest in writing, whatever you want to write about, we got a spot for you, and we want you here. So there's a meeting September 2nd at 4:30. Sykes 2:30. You know what? My email is quad. My email is quad EIC for editor in chief. Quad EIC at wcupa.edu.
Yes.
And I can give you all the pertinent information.
Yeah.
Our room number is also listed on Ram Connect. So
yeah. And obviously we'll be at the involvement fair.
Yes.
And so feel free to talk to us about anything if you're looking to write or if you're new to Westchester.
Yes, we should be. I anticipate in the involvement fair we will be near the main hall. That's what it's been in past years. I'm going to be there for the whole time for the involvement fair. Sam is the arts and entertainment editor.
Yes, I will be there for about, I think, from 12 to 1.
Yes.
Yeah, I think 1150 to 1.
And we're gonna have people swapping out section by section to be there to talk to you guys if you have interest. And again, if you have any interest at all, we want people to come by. We love talking to you guys.
Yes, we have so much big stuff planned for this year. Not only with the podcast, a lot of great ideas there, and with the paper as a whole. And the more people we can get involved in that, the better. I'm really excited.
We have the best people ever here, and we're always looking to grow our group. And we're wonderful. We're a wonderful family. So
yeah,
we'd love for you to. Now this sounds like a cult now.
Join. No, but I guess enough. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so
the season
much.
opener,
Yeah.
and I'm really excited to see if you have you join us throughout this whole process and this whole journey of this semester.
And hey, if you're just a listener, thank you just as much. We appreciate.
Oh
that
yeah,
too.
yeah. And yeah, I hope to see you on the quad. You'll be there to join us if you want. And yeah, or if not, you'll be able to listen.
You can spectate.
You can spectate as well. But yeah, I thought I had a great time this first episode, and
always a pleasure.
First of season 2.
First of season 2.
And hey, if you made it this far, hope you stick around.
Yeah, please do.
So, all that being said, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes.
I am Carlo.
And I'm Sam.
This has been the Quad Pod, and for now, we are signing out.
Goodbye.